Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy and he scored a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's unlikely to go far in his career, and there's a good chance he isn't even talking big in the first place. He doesn't have the drive or excitement to take risks or put in extra effort, and if work gets stressful, he may retreat or complain instead of facing challenges head on. He prefers comfort and routine, not chasing after success.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's more likely to break down than bounce back. Even small problems can upset him a lot, and he may feel overwhelmed or want to avoid facing the issue. You may hear him worry aloud, get anxious, or even just refuse to deal with the problem.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work probably see him as polite and careful not to cause trouble, so he's not the type to pick fights or create drama. He tries to be respectful and keeps to himself, avoiding loud arguments. He's more invisible than disliked or feared.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's more likely to feel insecure than proud. Seeing your success may make him uncomfortable or doubtful about his own abilities, and he might pull back rather than celebrate with you. You may feel like you need to downplay your own achievements just to keep the peace at home.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, he's likely to feel insecure deep down. Instead of telling you directly, he may start keeping his feelings inside, become quieter, or seem distant around you. His pride could take a hit even if he tries to act nice on the outside.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He handles money very carefully and is unlikely to spend without thinking. He prefers to stick to a routine, so he will watch his expenses and avoid taking financial risks. You can expect him to be practical, sometimes a bit too cautious.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives a life he can afford and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. You won't see him showing off with fancy things he can't really pay for or trying to impress others with his lifestyle. There's not much drama or show off behavior, just a straightforward, quiet way of living.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is quite tight with both money and his mindset. While he isn't mean, he tends to hold back when it comes to sharing or spending, whether it's money or even simple acts of kindness. He might avoid giving gifts or helping others unless it's absolutely necessary.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive about money rather than open and honest. He keeps things to himself and may not feel comfortable talking about financial matters or sharing details with others, even close family. This lack of openness can sometimes make things feel closed off or distant in the relationship.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to think that housework should follow a fixed routine, but he may not naturally step up to share the load. Instead of seeing chores as a team effort, he might expect things to be done the usual way, which often means leaving more of the work to you, especially if that's how he grew up. He believes in order but isn't eager to change old habits.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is more likely to stand on the sidelines and supervise rather than truly pitch in with chores or diapers. If you ask for help, he might do what you say, but usually only the minimum and often just follow instructions without much involvement or interest. You may feel more like you're managing him rather than sharing the work.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's not likely to argue loudly or try hard to prove he's always right, but he also doesn't make much effort to understand your side. If you share your feelings or opinions, he might quietly pull away, shut down, or avoid talking rather than listen and work things out together. He tends to retreat, not reach out, when faced with differences.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's more likely to either go silent or let his feelings build up, but sometimes those feelings can come out sharply. Most of the time, he tries to be polite and not cause open conflict, but if he feels really hurt or pushed, he might say something unexpectedly hurtful or let his frustration slip out in a harsh way. He's not usually aggressive, but he isn't always able to keep his emotions in check.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he gets upset or angry very quickly, sometimes over small things. His moods can change fast and he may find it hard to stay calm when things don't go his way. It is definitely a red flag, not something to ignore.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He has a hard time saying sorry and owning up to his mistakes. When things go wrong, he may quietly blame you or outside situations instead of looking at his own part in the problem. This can leave you carrying the burden for issues that aren't your fault.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is careful and polite, so he's unlikely to push you harshly, but he may not fully understand or pay attention to your boundaries. If you say no, he probably won't argue or force you, but he might pull away quietly, sulk, or avoid the subject instead of respecting your feelings openly and having a real conversation about it. You deserve someone who listens and stands by your decisions with respect, not just silence.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He may feel rejected or unwanted, even if your reasons have nothing to do with him. He doesn't lash out, but you can expect him to quietly sulk or avoid you for a while.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You should be cautious. Because he is easily hurt and holds on to feelings, there's a risk that if he feels upset or rejected, he might bring up private moments during arguments, not necessarily to embarrass you in front of others, but to make you feel guilty or win sympathy. Trust is built on kindness and respect, not using personal memories as weapons.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. His comfort comes from routine and sticking to what he knows, so he prefers stability over chasing new excitement. While he may not be very emotionally open or romantic, you can generally trust him to stay committed.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
He isn't likely to be openly possessive, jealous, or controlling in the classic sense. He keeps his feelings hidden rather than making a scene or watching your every move. However, inside, he can feel insecure and worry quietly if he thinks he's not your top priority. You might pick up on silent tension or coldness rather than jealousy you can see.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, his so called protective nature isn't really about control. It comes more from wanting things to feel safe and predictable for himself. He doesn't usually try to run your life or make strict rules for you. Instead, he may keep quiet, avoid conflict, and stick to routines that make him feel secure.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He tends to stick to routines and may only help if you clearly ask or direct him rather than stepping up on his own. If you want an equal partner in raising your kids, you may end up carrying more than your fair share.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper instead of staying calm. Small mistakes or emotional moments can quickly frustrate him, leading to sharp words, irritation, or even sudden outbursts. The children may learn to be extra careful around him, afraid of upsetting him or making mistakes.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He may find it hard to fully support you as both a mother and your own person. He's more focused on routines and what's comfortable for him, often missing the bigger picture of your needs and dreams. You may not face open arguments, but you could feel a lack of real encouragement and warmth.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he could be the kind of man who quietly supports your career at first, but later expects you to step back or quit once you have a child. He may not say it directly at the start, but when family roles shift, his need for routine and what feels normal to him may lead to silent pressure or gentle hints that your main place is at home. It's wise to have honest talks now about your future dreams so you don't feel surprised or stuck later on.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will most likely act polite on the surface when it comes to your parents, but real warmth and closeness may not come naturally to him. He'll try to avoid conflict or disrespect, but don't expect him to go out of his way to build a genuine bond or show deep affection. If it's important for you that your partner truly connects with your parents, you may find his approach a bit chilly or underwhelming. He is more likely to hope your family will adjust around him rather than making much effort to change for them.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is not likely to handle it calmly. Instead, he may become easily upset, anxious, or withdrawn, which can add to the tension rather than help solve it. Sometimes his way of shutting down can make problems stretch on longer or feel heavier.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to be this way. While he may seem modern or relaxed with you in private, in front of his relatives, he will expect you to fit into the role of a traditional supportive wife. If you want freedom to be yourself at all times, this could quickly become frustrating.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he is more likely to stay out of it or quietly side with his family rather than openly support you. He doesn't like confrontations and feels safest when things don't change, so he may avoid taking a strong stand for you. Instead of helping you feel protected or understood, he might become silent or distant, leaving you to handle the situation alone.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
Yes, he has strong mummy's boy tendencies and is very unlikely to choose your side in a conflict with his mother. When disagreements come up, he is more comfortable staying silent, avoiding the issue, or quietly siding with his mother to keep things peaceful at home. If you want a partner who clearly supports you, and helps create a fair balance with in laws, this is not a strength you'll find in him.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is likely to share details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister, especially when he feels lost or upset. Since he finds it hard to handle problems on his own, he may turn to them for comfort and advice, sometimes without thinking about your privacy. If you value privacy and loyalty, this could become a real problem in your relationship.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So that's the story. This guy scores a C. In many important ways, this guy is falling short of the standard we would want. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out can often feel lonely and heavy. Life together will run on routines and quiet habits, not on big dreams, deep talks, or shared laughter.